Kris Kaylin Bennett is a household name here in Charleston, and she's also an entrepreneur and photographer. And by the way, she's a proud South Carolina State University graduate. In this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups, I sit down with Kris one-on-one. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores. Well, Kris, it's so good to see you.
I'm glad to be here.
Well, thank you. I appreciate this.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. Well, you know, a lot of people around town know you as an entrepreneur and a photographer. And on your website, kriskaylin.net, you said this about yourself. You said this quote, Kris K. Bennett is a Charleston native raised downtown Charleston. During her matriculation through college, she discovered her passion for media. From there, she began creating web series such as Build Dog Bite, Charleston Summer Series, and now, Next Up Charleston. Who else is Kris Bennett these days?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. Who is Kris Bennett? Kris is also an admissions counselor at her alma mater. Besides being a photographer and videographer, she's trying to, dabble in a little bit of the Charleston food industry and things like that. So I have a lot of things that I'm trying to do, but as of right now, that's what's happening. I don't want to add any more titles because I already have a lot on my plate.
And let me go back. You said Charleston native raised in downtown Charleston.
Yes.
What was it like for you to grow up here? I grew up on the east side, and that was tough.
Right. Well, it's funny you say that. I was on the east side a couple of weeks ago, and it's just crazy how it's just completely different now.
Yes.
But growing up downtown, it was awesome looking at the experience now. I used to catch the bus, walk everywhere. So it was literally that real downtown experience. I remember when Piggly Wiggly was where Bilo was, which is no longer Bilo. And back when Leon's was downtown, LJ's.
Right.
So just seeing how the culture has changed completely. And it's crazy when I tell people that I'm from Charleston downtown, they're like, oh, you're from West Ashley? And I met someone, they're like, well, you're actually from downtown? So I don't know, now seeing how things have changed, it's kind of like a hidden jewel to actually meet someone who's actually from downtown and live downtown. So growing up, I went to School of the Arts, and I was in Burke's band, so I got the best of both worlds. I learned how to deal with both sides of the track.
Wow.
Definitely. So I really enjoyed that experience growing up. It shaped me out a lot. I got a village from, my SOA family, a village from my Burke band family, because my mom, she also was the girls basketball coach. So spent a lot of time just intertwining and doing a lot.
Let me stop you there. You talk about your mom.
Yes.
And you actually said this on your Twitter page just recently, quote, today we celebrate #International Women's Day. On this day, I'm highlighting my #leading lady, someone that continues to show me she's truly the GOAT. The first woman to get a full basketball scholarship at South Carolina State. Clemson offered her half, and she was like, nah. How would you describe your mom these days?
Oh, wow. My mom, she is still the greatest of all time to me. My mom right now, the thing about it, my mom, she doesn't talk about her career the way I would talk about it. She's very humble.
Okay.
Right now she is a drug and alcohol counselor. So that's a passion that she got after my aunt passed tragically. She had an overdose. So after that, it just kind of changed the family dynamic, and she just got super passionate as far as helping addicts and alcoholics and recovering and things like that. But as of right now, what my mom is up to, she's I always tell people my mom is the coolest mom ever. Yes. So if you want to debate with me, that's fine. But yeah, no, she's really humble. She's cool, and she's always willing to lend a helping hand. My mom taught in the school system for over 20 years. So a lot of kids who grew up in Mitchell or Burke or James Simmons, they know her. So there's always the first one was oh, you're Miss Williams' daughter. And then I started to get my own identity. After I went to college, I really wanted to shake that whole being in her shadow. Because people just knew me as, oh, you're Miss Williams' daughter, or something like literally that. I don't think people even knew my name. Wow. But it was literally, you're Miss Williams' daughter. Wow. So now I actually have a name for myself. I'm not Miss Williams' daughter.
And everybody at South Carolina State knows who you are.
Right, and it's funny you say that. When she came up for homecoming, because my mom was cool on campus back when she was there. She was people used to call me Bert and this and Bert that, and now I'm Chris's mom.
Wow. So
yeah. It's cool. The tables have turned.
How did you break that? How do you get away from her shadow to now being yourself?
Actually, my mom, like I said, my mom really didn't talk about her career. So it was when I was in 6th grade at School of the Arts in South Carolina State, retired her jersey in the gym. They actually placed it in the rafters.
Yes.
And so after that, I'm just kind of like, wait, we're doing this? Because I started dancing when I was 7. So I was always into the glitz and the glamour and things like that. So I was just kind of like, all these people are here and radio stations are here. Like, what is this? So the more and more I talked to her about it, the more she told me. And like, she had this huge scrapbook, is where I got most of those pictures from, that her dad actually made for her.
Wow.
So like from high school, he scrapbooked everything.
Wow.
So from high school to college through professional is literally everything that contains her career. So it's really awesome to be able to have that, just to go back and look at it. So yeah, it's cool.
You talked about your mom being, obviously, her jersey being retired.
Mm-hmm.
Where was she emotionally with that?
Ooh, I think that was 2006. So I know she was really excited because technically they re-retired the jersey.
Mm-hmm.
So I know, even going back and talking about it, she just says like how much it really meant to her, the fact that they were like giving her this likes. I mean, she accomplished a lot for the university. So now to like, it's nothing like giving people their roses when they can smell them. Like, we tend to, honor people and give people statues after they passed or did something like that. So, like, I definitely believe in giving people their flowers and they can smell them. And she deserved it. Like, she definitely deserved it. Yeah. So I'm here for it.
That is so good to hear. I want to go back to your website, KrisKaylin.net.
Yes.
And obviously, you just obviously have this in your biography, and I want to reread it again. Yeah. It says this: from there, she began creating web series such as Build Dog Bite, Charleston Summer Series, and now Next Up Charleston. Which part of those series describes you the best?
I'm going to go with, Build Dog Bite, because it actually was my baby. It was something that I was able to create and to play with, to see what I liked. And like I always tell people, my first episode, people were orange. I knew nothing about sound. Wow. And like nothing about lighting, but I had an idea. And I always tell people, thank you, but you always have to go with an idea regardless of how it looks. And after that, I learned how to do proper lighting. I learned how to actually use a green screen and overlay things. Right. So I would say Bulldog Bite would, I guess, describe me the most because it showed growth, it showed patience. As far as like when I started editing to what I have going now, like it shows the progression. Right. So I would say that. And as far as the Charleston Summer Series, it started to show more of who I was outside of school. Because I mean, Bulldog Bite was based around school, college. So I feel like the Charleston Summer Series started to give people an idea of who I was, not like what I was doing for the university, but more about Kris, more about where she's from, Charleston, things around her. So it's a mixture of both.
You talk about college. Let me go back to SC State. Can you describe you as a student at the time?
I was an awesome student. No, I'm kidding. At South Carolina State, I always tell people I was super involved. From freshman year, being involved in Royal Court, Campus Activities Board. Campus Activities Board was responsible for planning things like homecoming. Royal Court, you were like the greeters of the university. Other organizations, DOLS is a community service-based organization. I was a student orientation leader, so pretty much we would guide the freshmen from orientation to graduation. I was in pre-alumni council, student media. I interned at the radio station. I did a lot on campus, and like I was super involved, and that is, I really feel how I got my popularity between that and Bulldog Bite, because everyone wanted to be on the show. So it's kind of like, oh well, this is show, and then we had topics that would make people talk, like the Classroom versus State episode or the Greek versus GDI. Right. So at State, I was super involved, super active, and I felt like that and my personality just kind of, got me there.
Let me go to Next Up Charleston. Obviously, that's a popular web series right now on YouTube. Why now?
Good question. Originally, when I did the Charleston Summer Series, like as a creator, I'm pretty sure you've gotten to points where you're just kind of like, I don't think anything else can come from this. Like, I feel like I was trying to squeeze a turnip to get blood to come out, and I just wasn't inspired anymore with the Charleston Summer Series. And like I always tell people, for me, I felt like I need to focus on one thing. So like I was covering like from artists, and I would do like food, and then like boutiques. But it was just kind of like, it was cool, but I stopped feeling inspired. Like, I just don't know what it was. And then I started filming around Charleston. The first artist that I worked with was Tyler Cash, and that's when the Charleston Confab was coming out. So I filmed him at Confab. He performed with Walter Brown. That's the first time like I was exposed to that. And I just realized, and I heard of Inferny and Matt Monday, because he's also an SOA alum. But this is like my first time seeing them all in like one area. So I'm like, this is just underground music that we have that, I mean, you know, the Charleston paper covers it, but it's just kind of like, it was no visual representation of it. So, you know, you can go on iTunes and stream it, but it's just kind of like, we don't, as a local people, we don't support local artists unless it's something that you already hear on the radio. So after like being there, I'm like, these are super talented people. They're all from Charleston, and it's just kind of like given. I had a following from Bulldog by the Charleston Summer Series, so it's just kind of like I kind of have a platform, but let's just see what happens. No one else in Charleston is doing it as far as filming it wise. And like, I don't know if you ever heard of like Noisy. No. So okay, Noisy is like this station. They do like artist documentaries and things like that. And I saw Noisy Atlanta, and I was just so infatuated by it. Like my favorite episode, also because I'm a Migos fan, but my favorite episode was the Migos episode. But the thing that I loved about Noisy, it just captured like the artists like right before they broke. So it's just kind of like you're getting the realness, the grit, the grind, how they got there. And it's just kind of like, I felt like in Charleston, we have a lot of talented artists that have a lot going on. And they definitely have the potential to get where they need to be. But I felt like we didn't have the platform. Now, I'm not saying that I'm noisy, not at all, not close at all. But I still wanted to be able to use my platform, with my followers that I have and with the views that I get. Let's just see what happens. So, artists, the first episode I did was with the Harley Boys. Like, I just asked different people, you know, the series that I'm doing, would you mind being a part? And the thing about it, a lot of the artists who are here, they're dope and they're talented, but they don't have like interviews, they don't have content. So it's just kind of like, I'm giving you content that I think is pretty decent, and you know, I'm getting your followers, and you know, just kind of bargaining like that. And from there, it started, and now here we are at episode 8. Wow. So yeah, 2 before 10. I feel like I should do something really cool for 10, but I'll see.
Okay. Obviously, too, you're a photographer.
Yes.
You have a passion for video. Where did that bug come from as far as photography in your mind?
You know what? I was so against photography at first, and this is the thing. When I graduated, I was like, I'm just going to focus on video. I'm just going to do video and video. But then it's like they'll be like, hey, so are you doing a photo shoot? And I'm just kind of like, no, I'm not doing a photo shoot. I'm just doing video. Right. But it's just kind of like, this is money that you're turning down. So I was just kind of like, okay, let me do one. And I did my friend's graduation shoot. And we're just kind of like, okay, this turned out good. Then I did one for my LS, and it turned out good. And I was like, well, you know, I'm only going to take pictures when people pay me. And then the more that I started to do it, then I got a different lens. And I'm just kind of like, I really like capturing moments as well. So it really comes hand in hand. I was saying at first, like, I feel like you can only have expertise in one area. You can't spread yourself. But you can, and I'm learning that every day. I'm telling people, like, I'm trying to be the modern day Renaissance woman. If I can do it, then I'm going to do it. So, like, I can change my headlight on my car, and I can take a picture.
You talk about women. Let me go back to International Women's Day, that is, because I was wondering, if you could write a letter to your mom right now, what would you say is saying, dear mom?
Oh, gosh, if I could write a letter to my mom, I would thank her for always encouraging me. And my mom always did this thing. She would always say, Kris, you're really sensitive. You have tissue paper feelings. You have to get some alligator skin unless you're not going to make it. And at first I'm just kind of like, oh, well, whatever. But literally that has been the best advice. You know, besides keeping God first and all the other things. But like, getting alligator skin is the best thing my mom has taught me. And it's just not like being super aggressive or anything, but it's just knowing how to handle yourself. How to still be classy. Because also my mom would tell me, class, you can't buy it, either you got it or you don't. And when you deal with a lot of people, you realize that, you know, everyone isn't raised the same. So if I could write a letter to my mom, I would just thank her for the upbringing that she gave me, definitely. Instilling some really badass qualities in me, I feel like. And just enforcing education and having a mind of my own. I was always taught to just march to the beat of my own drum. And also, I remember at a really young age, my mom always taught me, she was just kind of like, don't be jealous or envious of other people because you don't know what they did to get what they have. Just be grateful for what you have. So at a very, very, very young age. That's why I'm just always about like bringing people up and bringing people together. And just like, because I don't know, I just don't have that trait because I wasn't taught like that, just to be like negative and mean and things. So it's like, I just want to, people who are doing the right thing, I'm going to support you. If there's anything that I can do to help you, please let me know.
And let me go back to support because obviously you are a graduate of South Carolina State, you're an employee there now. And obviously when you think of South Carolina State, there's so much negative connotation coming from that. What do you want people to know about South Carolina State that you know?
We have the top programs in the state of South Carolina, and that often gets misconstrued when you hear things in the media, things that have absolutely nothing to do with our academics. So as far as academics are concerned, South Carolina State, we are academically sound. We have top signature programs, the only nuclear engineering program in the state of South Carolina, along with the top speech pathology and audiology, computer science program, which is a huge, that and STEM altogether is coming like huge right now. So that education department, we graduate the most teachers in the state of South Carolina. We also have Bulldog Battalion. We graduate the most generals. So you come as a freshman, you leave as a lieutenant. So we have a lot of great programs offered at the university. I always tell students it's an in-state public institution, so it's not as expensive as a private school, but you're getting that quality education. You're going to enjoy your 4 years. And like I said, I always tell people, it's far, they're like, oh, I don't want to stay in state. Listen, it's far enough away from home, but it's not too far. If you just want to leave, then you can do that. If you want to go home, you can. But we're here, we're a good family, and we're the best HBCU in the land. And don't debate me on that.
Oh, Lord Jesus. So if I were to pick up a Postal Courier newspaper and read about you the next 6 months, what would the headline be?
The headline would say that Kris Kaylin Productions finally has her own studio.
Yes.
She may or may not be traveling back and forth between Charleston and another city that I don't want to disclose yet because I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm going, in the next 6 months, I'm going to be fully employed by myself. I'm going to be a full entrepreneur. I'm just going to take that leap and, just hope these wings pop out and I fly.
And God will make that happen.
Yes, He will. Yes, He will. But yes, I'm really excited about that. In the next 6 months, yes. So Kris is going to have her own studio. She's going to be working for herself full time, and we're going to put Charleston on the map. At the end of the day, that is also one of my top goals, to put Charleston on the map. Somebody.
It'll happen.
Yes.
Well, Kris Kaylin Bennett, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate this.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Anytime.
Finally made it on camera.
Quintin's close up.